I heard that Islam now also belongs to Germany. One can have different opinions about that. But Islam is definitely part of the culture of the Uyghurs who live in northern China. The Chinese government doesn't like that fact at all, and they want to change that by force. China's government, of course, denies that they are doing anything wrong or are violating human rights. They alternatively claim that they are fighting terrorism or that people are voluntarily taking part in vocational training. But the truth is trickling through, and that truth is just horrible. I do not have to prove here that the Uyghurs are persecuted in China based on their beliefs and their culture. The internet is full of it, and anyone can find out more just by a quick Google search. It is unclear how many Uyghurs are currently being held in re-education camps. According to estimates, the number is at least 1 million, which is around 10% of the Uyghur population in China. I don't want to describe what is being done to the people in these camps. Just so much. Horrific prison conditions, hunger, and torture are standard there. It is reported that the inmates at the camps are being forced to eat pork, renounce Islam, and sing the praises of the Communist Party, among other things. The purpose of re-education is to separate the Uyghurs from their religion and culture. So you can get imprisoned in a camp if you reveal that you somehow feel connected to your culture or to Islam. Perhaps now someone is wondering why I care at all, since I have a rather negative image of Islam overall. So for those who have not yet understood it, I am concerned with freedom and human rights for all people, no matter where they live or what they believe. Persecution for belief is always unacceptable. Torture and executions are always wrong, even if the victims would be terrorists or criminals. No exceptions, no discussion. Here are a few excerpts from the Neue Zürcher Zeitung. The link is in the description, a newspaper in Switzerland. You are at risk of imprisonment if you click on the wrong websites, stay away from flag raising for no reason, or you are keeping your restaurant closed during the fasting month of Ramadan. Obviously, all these are reasons to lock people up. Oh no, of course, they come voluntarily to receive further vocational training, says the government. In addition, people can get arrested if they wear a headscarf or a beard, apply for a passport, have relatives abroad, go on a pilgrimage, or own religious books. On the website Fluchtgrund, in English reason for fleeing, we also find the following. Even if you give your child a Muslim name or hold a religious marriage ceremony, you can be imprisoned for that. The course of action suggests that we are dealing with the systematic destruction of the cultural identity of an entire ethnic group. On the page World Uyghur Congress, we find the following. Even the simplest expression of religious sentiments are forbidden. These include owning a Quran or a prayer rug, receiving religious messages online, or teaching children under 18 about the religion. One should now believe that the governments of Islamic countries would protest to the government of China and stand up for the persecuted Muslims. But no, the media often criticize the silence from that direction. But now I've found out it's not only that, it is even worse. In the description you find a link to a video in which 3 Muslims talk about this topic. Listening to it, you will learn the following. First, China sells organs from executed Uyghurs to wealthy patients from the Gulf states. Second, Many Islamic countries even defend China's persecution of the Uyghurs. You find that unbelievable? I'm afraid that is the truth. It is reported that China is promoting the sale of halal organs in wealthy Arab countries. In other words, the person from whom the organ originated was a Muslim and did ideally not eat pork or drink alcohol. At the airport in Kashgar, in the Uyghur region, there is a priority lane for organ transplants written in Chinese and in Arabic. It looks as if in China people will be executed per order whenever an organ recipient has arrived in the country. In this YouTube video, Dr. Yasir Qadhi says this, answering the question, what is his message to the people who get new organs in this way?
What's your message for those types of people then, Sheikh?
Wallahi, akhi, a dignified death is infinitely better than what you think you're doing. A'udhu billah. To face Allah with a clean heart that malfunctioned, inshallah, shahada, for you to go and purchase a heart, a'udhu billah, or to purchase a kidney.
It's theft though, isn't it? It's not even purchasing, it's stealing.
Exactly. It's not even theft. It's like you're hijacking the body. It's not even just a theft. It's like the government is using you like a breeding animal. A'udhu billah.
You will certainly hear me criticizing Yasir Qadhi in other videos, but here he expresses exactly how I feel about this.
Right now, the Uyghur issue is the only issue in the world where the right, the left, atheists, I'm talking about atheists in the Western world, atheists, Christians, Jews, Muslims are able to come together on this issue. They're able to come together, and the common enemy is communist China.
Well, I wouldn't say it that way, but it is true that this topic brings a lot of people together who raise their voices to call out the outrageous injustice that is being done to the Uyghurs in China. In fact, some countries also wrote a letter to the UN in summer 2019, which was signed by many states, asking the UN to help the persecuted Uyghur people. Let's take a look at the countries that signed that letter. Strange. There is not a single Islamic country on that list. They are suspiciously absent. But unfortunately, the governments of Islamic countries do not limit themselves to keeping silent. Let's look at this. There's another letter to the UN on this subject. It reads, among other things, "We commend China's remarkable achievements in the field of human rights." And this, "Faced with the grave challenge of terrorism and extremism, China has undertaken a series of counter-terrorism and de-radicalization measures in Xinjiang, including setting up vocational education and training centers. Now safety and security has returned to Xinjiang, and the fundamental human rights of people of all ethnic groups there are safeguarded." Who believes this? This letter praises China, and allegedly there is no trace of human rights violations anywhere. Who signed this letter? So that Russia, Belarus, Cuba, and North Korea are on this list does not surprise me at all. But what are all the Islamic countries doing on this list? Remember that China is being supported in persecuting Muslims in the worst possible way. There is Bangladesh and Iran, Egypt and Iraq, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Yemen and Pakistan, and also Saudi Arabia. It is obvious to me that the politicians of the countries mentioned here simply do not want to mess with China for economic reasons. And they don't care at all about those things that should be sacred to them, namely Islam and the Ummah, that is the community of all Muslims. But they get really upset when someone in France publishes a few stupid drawings that supposedly show Muhammad. I can only say to the signatories of this letter, you disgusting hypocrites, shame on you. Why don't you crawl into a hole in the ground to hide your disgrace? I have many reasons to believe that there won't be much left of Islam by the end of this century. But when the Muslims are politically represented by such people, then I really don't have to wonder about anything anymore.